Have you ever wondered why it takes so long to make a good level? Have you ever wished that there was a faster way to create masterpieces? Well, in this video, I will give you a list of some of the most useful mods out there for creating levels. From widely known mods to very underrated mods, this video will show you everything you need to get started. Alright, so the first mod I wanted to talk about is this very popular and well-known mod known as BetterEdit. Now, if you don't have BetterEdit, then I'm sorry, but what are you doing? I mean, this is just such an incredibly revolutionary mod for so many different reasons, for so many different features, and for just the insane amount of things it manages to clean up in the editor. Now, I could go into detail about every single feature that this mod has, but there are plenty of tutorials already explaining all of it. So I'm just going to give a brief summary of some of its key features. Some of these features include a complete cleanup of the movement system here and just making it much more organized, adding the ability to select objects based on group ID or color filter, adding a whole nother view tab full of all these different things that you can view and see and preview. And not only that, but it completely revamps the entire color system and makes it much more organized, much cleaner, and overall just better to use. It also makes choosing fonts a lot easier. You could just scroll through this and pretty much just reorganizes everything. And one last key feature that this mod allows you to do is it allows you to scroll really far in and out just by using your mouse instead of having to use the minus or plus side. There are of course many other features, but I'm not really gonna bother explaining them to you. You can read all about them or find a tutorial online. Now the second mod actually kind of goes hand in hand with the BetterEdit mod and is also a very popular mod, and that is the Keybind mod. Now this is another very useful tool because it allows you to set anything, and I mean any action here, to any keybind, which is really helpful for creating those very necessary shortcuts in order to speed up the process of your building. All right, the next mod on this list is a mod called Circle Tool. Now, this mod is another really useful tool for the editor, just because you can place these two objects like this. Just make sure they're parallel to each other, and then you can click this circle tool right here, and you can change the amount of steps depending on how many objects you want to be in the circle. So for example, if you put one step, then your circle is going to look something like this, and it's going to have 360 objects. Now, if you wanted something with maybe a little less objects, then you can change the step to something like 10 steps and then click apply, and boom, here you go. And this time the circle is only 36 objects. Now you can do this with pretty much any object, and there's also this squish tool which basically just squishes the circle. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let me change that to 5, then click apply, and this is kind of what it does. It squishes it, but that's basically all the circle mod has to offer. Now the next mod on this list is a mod called Improved Link Controls. Basically what this mod does is it adds this little button right here on the left side, and if we just make a little smile here, we select it all and link it. Now what we can do with this is we can click this button right here, and then we can still individually select objects, whereas previously if you were to just click it like this, it would select everything. This is really helpful if you want to change something without having to unlink everything. Now the next mod on this list is actually a really cool mod called Aluminum Drawing Tool. Basically what this mod allows you to do is it allows you to draw just kind of like this, and it allows you to, you know, maybe spell out some words, draw some symbols. There's so much freedom in having the ability to draw. And basically what all these tools does is the hand allows you to move around while still having the drawing selected, while this allows you to make more specific line kind of drawing, and then this one is more advanced kind of curves, so you can kind of make a B right there. There are no limitations to what you can create with this drawing tool. I mean, the potential for this is just so crazy. It's unbelievable. You can also change stuff in here like the brush width, or you can also change the color ID, curve details, and threshold, although I'm not really sure what this does, to be honest, but we'll test it out and see. Now our brush is a lot bigger, and it looks like that used about 249 objects. Now the next one on this list is kind of an interesting mod called Object Workshop. Now this mod is a more server-sided mod where basically you can upload your own custom objects for other people to use, or you yourself can utilize some of these objects and use them to help decorate your level. Now there are tons of options to choose from. However, the only caution I would say is that I would avoid using some of these complex objects right here to decorate your levels, because then it's kind of stealing in a way. So I would just be really careful with what objects you use, and I would try to focus more on some of the simpler ones, like this realistic black hole, rather than whatever the heck this thing is, because then it could be considered stolen assets. The next mod on this list is actually a pretty underrated mod known as reference image. Now, basically this just allows you to import your own reference image into the editor so that you can use it as a sort of reference to build whatever designs you want to make. So for example, let's say I wanted to make a forest and I just didn't really know how to make one. Well, then in that case, I could come over here, I could save it right here, and then I can go to the editor and place a block down just like that. And then I can click this image button right here, and I can click this forest image, click open, and boom, voila! We have ourselves a reference image that we can build upon. So now we don't have to worry about learning exactly how to build a forest or anything, because we have a reference right here. So we can just try to trace it out ourselves. And because this is just a reference image, when you actually play the level, it doesn't show up at all. So I'm playing it right now, and if we just wait, see right here, this is where the reference image should be, but it's not there. It's just there to help you with the building process. Now this next mod is a little bit smaller of a mod, but it's called Awesome Modifier Icons. Basically, all this mod really does is it just replaces all the letter blocks with these images right here to better help guide you. So like, for example, this is the new gravity switching block, which I believe is the F block. And then this right here, this wave one should be the D block. This one should be the S block. And then I can never remember which one is H and which one is J. But basically, this just is really helpful because I don't know about you guys, but I always get really confused with which letter block is what, and then I have to go through them all and test them all. So this is just really helpful because it just visually tells you what block it is. All right, the next one on this list is, again, another kind of small mod, but also still fairly useful, and it is called Clean Start Position. If we just place the start position right here and we open it up, we can see that the menu is much more cleaned and just much more polished. You can just easily click what speed you want it to be, what game mode. You can just easily click all these buttons, and it just makes it a lot more efficient to use. And the last one on this list is a mod called QOL mod. Now this mod is actually really popular, but not for the editor. It's popular for having all sorts of features just for playing the game, and all sorts of hacks as well. But the reason I put this on the list for best mods for creators is not because of all of these features right here, all these like cosmetics, but actually it's for this right here, start position switcher and smart start position. So for example, if you're making a lawn level and you want to have multiple start positions you want to switch between, but you don't want to have to delete them or disable them constantly and move back and forth between different sections, all you have to do is you just have to place a couple start positions just like that, and then you can save and play. Oh, okay. Basically, you can switch between... Oh, okay. My game is, like, going crazy. I don't really know what's going on. Okay, I don't know why my game is glitching. Okay, can you stop level completing? What is going on? You get the point. I don't know why my game was tweaking so much. My game was having a seizure, I guess. But the QOL mod has a few other features that can kind of be useful, such as free scroll, which allows you to scroll past the limits of the game, so you can scroll behind where the level starts. And then editor extension function, scale input, no custom object limit, which pretty much just allows you to create whatever custom objects you want with no limitation on object size, and toolbox button bypass, which just allows you to go into settings and just do as many buttons and as many rows as you want. Oh my gosh. What? Dude, I can scroll through all of these in 5 tabs, which previously, if you had 12 by 3, this is the amount of tabs you would have. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all of the mods. But before you go, I have a few honorable mentions that I would like to show you guys. The first one being a mod called Trash Can, which basically just allows you to delete levels like this and then click this trash can button. Wait, why can't I find? Oh, here it is right here. See best editor mods. And then we can click that button and it'll bring it back up. So if you accidentally delete a level, you can always just bring it back with this trash can. And then the second honorable mention is a mod called Colorblind Editor, which is really just helpful for colorblind people as it makes the portals marked with color. So it's really helpful if you're colorblind, but otherwise the mod is completely useless. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see a video where I make a level using only images, click the video on the right of your screen, and I'll see you guys in the next video.